I'd like to get trained on the technical side.
Okay, and you have working experience in functional.
I mean, I do not have any hands-on experience. I've just started learning this. I would like to
Okay,
get into Workday. So my background is basically I'm into say recruitment, talent acquisition, HR
okay,
talent
talent
acquisition.
acquisition.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. How about Kumar? Kumar, would you like to share some inputs?
I think he should be on mute or something. Or I
Mm,
don't see Kumar here. I don't see Kumar. I think he'd drop off the call, I guess.
yeah, I could see him. All right. So
Yeah.
we will start with just the basic question. What is Workday? All right. We will start with what is Workday, and we will start with zero. I will assume that you know just the basics, which is the functionality of Workday, and we will learn everything. Okay, even if you know it, right, we will just again go through it. Like in functional, you might have gone through what is a standard report, what is a delivered report, advanced reports, few basic what is data source, business objects. So we will go through that again because this is also a part of integration course. All
Okay.
right. So,
Mm-hmm.
so after this session, you will have some basic information, a very clear idea as what is technical, what is functional consultant, and uh, what is Workday tool, and what are different types of reports, what are different types of integrations available in Workday, and how you can explore your options when you are working for a company, whether you want to become an integration or whether a functional consultant or a data conversion consultant. That's what we are going to do in this demo session. All right, we are not going to go to the tenant and do some reports and all that, but we will learn theoretically what those are. Right. So basic question: what is Workday? Anil and Kumar, what is Workday?
Like Workday is a cloud based software vendor
Mhm,
that like specializes in HCM and financial management applications.
mhm.
So it's nothing but it's a you can say like it's a web-based ERP software that specializes in HCM and financial management.
Exactly. Workday is an ERP tool. You would have heard of SAP, right? You are working
Yeah,
in talent
yeah.
acquisition recruitment, and you've got trained Chaitanya. You've got trained in uh, functional. So it is an ERP tool. All right.
Mhm.
ERP is enterprise resource planning. Any tool which creates an integration between an employee and an organization. When I say an organization, do you understand what I mean by organization?
Organization as a whole.
Yes. Any tool which is creating a connection, all right, between organization, which is a company, and an employee is an ERP tool. For example, SAP. Okay, that's a very good example. That's the famous thing what people know for very, very long time. Right? SAP tool. Do you know SAP? Do you know SAP HANA? Do you know SAP this, SAP that? So that's the
Yeah,
best
different modules, right? Yes.
exactly.
Hmm.
It is the best tool in the market. It was until
Okay.
Workday came. Okay. Workday is a similar kind of a ERP tool, which is very, very simpler than SAP. Have you ever worked in SAP?
No, not worked.
No,
So
no, no.
SAP in a layman language is simple. Yes, if we learn Workday or if you know SAP, we will know we'll have an understanding of Workday, and if we know Workday, we'll have an understanding of SAP. Okay, but the UI is little complicated. But if you see Workday's UI, okay, when I say UI means the screen which you are working on, the login which you do, Workday tenant. That is very, very easy and simple for Workday, and it is very user friendly. All right, so saying that, we will move on. to different types of options we have in Workday. Right, let me create a. So what are the different positions available in Workday? We have a functional, we have a data conversion, and we have technical. Okay, so what is functional and what is data conversion? What is technical? Functional is quite functional consultant. That's a quite general word. You might be aware of it. What is data conversion? Do you guys have any idea? What is data conversion consultant?
Data
Okay,
conversion could be something like something into reporting or like converting the data of a company or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
exactly. So that's the meaning, the literal meaning, data conversion. Okay,
Yeah.
but here a little technical word would come, which is called as legacy system. All right, you work in a company. Okay, any company, any small company or a big company, they will have their own way to work. They will have their own software. If, for example, you are working with uh, Apple, okay, so Apple will have its own software. If you are
Mhm.
working with Shell, they will have their own software. If you are working with some other company, they will have their own software. No, all the companies will not use the same type of software. Yes, ticketing tool they will use, but there will be internal softwares which will hold their own data inside them. All right, for all the employee data, absence data, leave data, all the different types of reports, anything will be there in their own software. So that is called as legacy system. Something which is already existing in that organization is legacy. So now what a data consultant will do, data consultant will transfer that data into Workday. That is going to be his job. Like, for example, I'll give you a simpler example. If you are using an Android phone, all right,
Okay. Mhm.
and you want to transfer and you have bought a new phone, iPhone,
Okay.
and now you want to transfer your old data, which is an Android, into iPhone. Is
Mhm.
that a simple thing? Android to Android, good.
Yeah.
Android
And
to
it,
iPhone, or vice versa. Just imagine the complications and the confusions you will have. So this confusion is solved by a data conversion consultant. That guy will have a very, very good clarity. What are the fields which is required? What are the different uh, you call it as configuration books which you require from legacy system. You have heard of the word configuration workbooks, Kumar?
um,
You know what is configuration workbooks?
I've not heard of it because I'm not into this. It's all like new for me.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. See, configuration workbook is very, very important when you are learning Workday. It is very, very, very important. Right?
mhm.
Anyway, you configuration workbook is something is a base.
Okay.
How would you know what data you are working on? See, for example, configuration workbook. Say, for example, I am. Let's take an example of phone itself. Okay, I have got a new phone, Android
Mhm.
or an iPhone, whatever, iPhone, or
Okay.
I've got a new laptop. I have got this, and I do not know how to work. Right? I don't know how to on. I don't know how to which button to press. I don't know how to navigate. I don't know how to go to open Word or install MS Office. I don't know that, right? Where will you find that information? You have to have some kind of a document which will tell you, right, guys, this is how you have to navigate. This is how you have to install MS Office or Windows or iOS. So that document, manual document, which we, in terms of iPhone or laptop, we will call it as manual. That manual document is what is called configuration workbooks in Workday. You will have those configuration workbook with all the information. There will be so many config workbooks for every module. They will have separate config workbooks. For every field, they will have separate information. For example, we have so many countries in the world. Every country will have their own way to do it, right? Their own laws, their own information collection from the candidate, from the employee, their own ways to process the visas, their own different types of visas, right? For USA H1 visa. Do you think H1 visa is there in India? No,
No,
it's not there.
no,
In Singapore, no, it's not there. H1 is unique for USA,
correct. Yeah.
right? But what is general in all the country? Gender, name, first name, last name. In
Hmm.
US, you call people by last name, Mr. So and so. In India, you don't even worry about all that, right? You just call Mohammed, just whatever name you know, full
Or we
name or
usually go with like say sir, madam, or something like
yeah, sir, madam. But what I'm trying to say is not sir and madam. What I'm trying to
that.
say is people have every country has its own different fields, right?
Okay.
For USA, it will be first name and last name mandatory. But when you are filling some kind of a document, they will ask for an information first name and last name mandatory. You have to fill first name and last name online applications. If you come to
Correct.
India, you just have to give first name. You don't have to give last name, or you just have to give given name. If you see your passports or any other application, they'll ask what is your given name. So every country will have its own. In USA H1, in India you have some visa. I don't know if people come inside India and work also, but different visa, right? So all these information, which country which has which field, which country has what information required. So all this is captured in configuration workbook. Do you have any questions in this configuration workbook?
No. So
It
it's
is
nothing but like just to configure the data. That's a kind of manual kind of a thing, right? Document. You're saying.
it's an
Yes,
Excel sheet.
just like a user manual.
Come again?
Configuration workbook means just like a user manual to configure the mobile
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. But the only thing is it is already there. Okay, whatever configuration is there in your system, that information will be available in that Excel sheet. It's basically an Excel sheet. Configuration workbook is an Excel sheet. In that you'll have all the informations, everything, whatever is configured in that Workday system as per the company requirement, everything you will find it in that configuration work. Right? So what these data conversion guys do is they will take the data from the legacy system and they will put it inside Workday. They will take the data, they will develop the worksheet in the configuration workbook format. Everything has a format. All right. If you just take a data in Word and then try to put it inside Workday, it will not accept. You'll have to have a format. Data conversion guy will take the data in from legacy system in configuration workbooks, which is Excel sheets in a set of format, and we'll put the data inside Workday. Now coming to functional consultant, uh, that's just the basic kind of information. Like again, we'll take an example of an phone. You have an Android, you got an iPhone. Do you think Android and iPhone you will work the same way? It will not. Okay, both has different functions. Operating systems are different. The way you operate, options are different. The way you unlock, all that is very different from Android phone. So, what will a functional guy do? Functional guy will know how to operate an iPhone. So, in a company, say for example, Shell. So Shell has done this implementation and the configuration and implementation is done. Now they want to start the work. They cannot just start the work with just the configuration workbook and with just the laptop and internet. No, they will need a functional consultant who knows the system, who knows what is Workday. That's when the functional guys will come in and they will know what is that, what is Workday in our example, iOS, and they will be able to navigate and they will be able to do everything what Shell is asking them to do. Now here, technical. Technical, this is where we come in. All right. Let's take an example of a phone. If the phone is not working at all, so long we were talking about Android and iPhone, transferring the data, knowing what is iPhone, what is Android. Now I'm talking about you don't even, if the phone is repaired, iPhone is completely repaired. Whom will you approach? Whom will you go to? If some report is not working, whom will you go to? That's where technical guys come in. Technical guys will deal with this kind of errors, will develop reports and integrations as per the requirement of the client.
Got it.
Now let's move on. Well, this is something very important we should know, which you should know as a functional or technical. What is configuration workbook? Because this is the base. From here only, Workday will be developed for an organization.
Okay.
And the other thing is, if you have any sort of question, you can ask me anytime. Okay, even if it's the basic question, small question, silly question, no problem, ask me. And if I'm not able to answer, I will make note of it and I'll get back to you with the answer. I cannot assume that I know everything. And no, nobody knows everything. You just learn as you grow. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So here, what in this particular Workday integration course, what is that we are going to see? We are going to see Workday reporting overview, how to find reports in Workday, what are the different scenarios, Workday standard reports. We will create a report, we will copy a report, we will modify a report, we will have the prompts set in. When I say prompt, okay, well, before that, I would like to know what is a standard report. What do you mean by standard report in Workday?
Standard report could be a report, like reports within a company, or the company reports.
Hmm,
I
almost
think
there.
that was the default ones which the Workday provides.
Exactly, Kumar. That's perfect. You are almost there, Anil. So, what are standard reports? Standard reports are something delivered by Workday, right? Workday has given so many reports to the clients or to anybody who takes Workday that these are the set of reports which will be useful for you, for your company. Those are Workday delivered reports.
Okay.
All right. Say, for example, let's take an example of phone itself. You have an Android phone. In all the Android phones, you will have an alarm system. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean you cannot download anything from outside Play Store? You can download other alarm also from Play Store, right? But
Right.
you already have an alarm in your phone. That alarm is a standard report. Okay, something which is given to you by the company itself. Now we will be able to copy those reports. We will be able to modify those reports. We will be able to create our own new reports. Okay.
Okay.
So, so when you are doing this reporting, there's a concept which is called as data source. We will be using data source to pull up the data to make a report. That's when data source is required. Data source, basically, data source is Okay, since you have done functional, do you remember or would you be able to recall what is the basic data source you would have used? You are able to recall or something?
Um, Mohammed, no.
No
Sorry.
problem, no problem, no problem. That's where we are here. You see, data source is a source
We
of.
need organization information.
Come again, Kumar.
Uh, we need organization information. What we create to supervise the organization. That like that.
Uh,
That data source will be needed. The what are
well,
the employees who have to.
I am not sure if you're able to put that in the
Okay,
right
you can
words.
proceed. You can.
But you are there almost. You are somewhere there, but I don't think so that you are putting the right words. But still, I will just let you know what is a data source. Data Workday um, is source of truth. Okay, Workday is source of truth. When I say what is source of truth, it extracts data from data source. When I say data source, worker is a data source. You would have worked with worker. When you are creating reports in functional side, you will work with workers. In workers, you have all employee, all terminated workers reports in standard report, and you can copy the report and make your own report. So data source is something where that information, this worker information, will be fed. All the worker information will be fed in this one word itself. This
Okay.
is data source.
Mm-hmm.
Is something where you will get the data from. You'll have an information somewhere in the workday. But how will you get it? You will get it from that data source. We will trigger the data source. We will ask Workday system to give me the data. That is extract the data. That is data source. Then we will go on. Yeah, I've told you that we're going to copy the reports, then we're going to modify the reports. Then we are going to do, I've already told you that we will create the report. If we will create a report, we will use some data source business objects to create the report. And then we will set prompts and filters for those reports. When I say prompts, what do you mean? What do you understand with that general term called as prompt? Kumar, could you tell me what is prompt?
Actually, I don't know, Muhammad.
Okay, see, there's just a
I'm not
general
getting any.
prompt. Prompt means I am prompting you. Okay, I am asking you some questions, basic questions, so that you will give me the right answer. That is prompt. Say, for example, uh, when you are launching a report, okay, when you are launching a report, in that point of time, okay, let's take a very beautiful example. You are logged in into your account, your online banking. It is asking for username and password, right? It's not that you are just typing www.hdfcbank.com and immediately your account detail comes. No, it will ask you username and password. It will tell you, give me the username and password. That is prompt. There will be lakhs and crores of HDFC accounts throughout the world. How is it pulling the data only for you, for Anil or for Kumar? How is it pulling the data? Because it is prompting you, give me the username, give me the password. When you enter it, it will directly.
Sorry, Chaitanya, I think there's a lot of background noise from your
Yeah.
end. Please mute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mohammed, go
Okay.
ahead.
So that is prompt. When you enter some detail, when it is asking you to enter, you enter, it will filter and give you the data. That is prompt.
Okay.
Moving on to what is sorting and filter. You see this prompt and filters? We have discussed what is prompt. We'll discuss what is filter. It is also a way where you will filter a report. Okay, the difference between prompt and a filter is prompt is come during the launch, but filter happens when the report is running itself. For example, Excel sheet. Okay, you have full set of Excel sheet with 1,000 rows. When you add a filter and say uh, you are filtering with some kind of serial numbers. Okay, once you filter, the report is there. but the filter is applicable in that report, inside the report. It is not asking you during the launch. That is the difference between prompt and filter. The purpose is same, okay, but prompting is, it will ask you at the launch. Filter is, it is done inside the report itself. We will discuss further when we are working on the tenant. When we are working on the tenant. So now we are coming to building a report. I was telling you about report tags, reports, right? So in the reports, you'll have different type of tags. A tag means it will be easy for you to find. We can tag a report saying this is Anil's report, this is Kumar's report, this is Yusuf's report. So just with entering the command and the tag name, you will be able to pull the report. These are all custom types of reports, and we move on. What are the different terminologies used in reports, and what is the importance of data source? We already discussed what is data source, right? What are the different fields in reports? We will see when we are logging into tenant, and when we are creating a custom report, or when we are showing a standard report, we will see what are the different fields which are available in a report, and how do we manage those fields. We will also see that. What are the primary business objects? What are the related business objects? You must have had an idea about primary business objects, related business objects, and functional side as well. Okay, we will look into the same thing in a little detailed way in integration process. By data source reports, we will look into creating a custom report, adding a field of related business objects. See, I told you we are going to look into primary and business related business objects. We will look into all this, and then I was telling you that we will look into what is sorting, what is filtering, report tags. Then we will look into prompts. What are the prompts during runtime? Runtime means launch time. See here, we have how do we give prompts during runtime. Then we will see what is reports, sorry, security in Workday. How do we schedule, and what are the different processes? How do we monitor the securities of the report? So there is a basic question which I would want you to answer. Do you think Workday, um, you are working for a Workday, all right? You are an employee, Anil is an employee, and Kumar is an employee, and I am an employee. We are working in an organization. So when you log in into your Workday account, would you be able to see my salary, or would I be able to see your salary?
No, no.
Why?
That's like security. You will not
Exactly.
have an access to your personal
If the
information.
permission is accessed, it will be shown.
Yeah, you should have a permission. Maybe like in an organization, like only few persons are given those permission, like HR or what it is. Like the main person would be given permission to access all the information. Not all employees should be given.
Exactly. So, but in that's a perfect reply. In reports, in integration course, in this particular course, when we say scheduling a report, or sorry, report security, uh,
Hmm.
sharing a report, common report access, who creates and edits a custom report, all these are different levels of security which is given by the organization to individuals. Not everybody will be able to create or edit or copy or delete. Not everybody will be able to view also.
Correct.
Okay, viewing also is a problem. So when we say report security, there is restricted access to specific to reports. Okay, not everybody will be able to see all the reports. You will be restricted.
Yeah. Right.
Say for example, there is an integration. A, there is an integration B. So every integration or every report all right, will have a set of user, will have a specific user who will have an access to. Why? I'll tell you why. And what I am talking about also, I'll tell you. Say, for example, I am working for Shell and I am the I am handling the report. I created a report and I have completed it. I have launched the report. It is all working good. Next day, I don't go to office. I created the report. Do you think anybody will have an access? Nobody
No.
will, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm not going to office for a month. I'm on
Okay.
a long vacation. Nobody will have an access to that report. That's when this report security comes in. Every report will have its own uh, user added to it. Okay. When I say
Okay.
user, it's a general user.
Mhm.
Okay. There'll be a general user will be added to this report. So why this general user is added? Because you should have access to that report. Even if the person who created or who's given a restriction, if he's not available, this guy, ISU guy, should be, this is called as integration security user A. This is integration security user B. There is, we will generate a, not we, as in this, there will be an integration security user who will have an access to that report. Now, the only condition is if this guy is having an access to integration A, this particular report or this particular integration, he will not have access to this. One guy can have access only for one integration or for one report. That's a general user. I'm talking about general users. I'm not talking about you and me individuals. I'm talking about a general user. So if there is
Okay.
another integration C, then there will be another integration security user C. Right? He will not have access to anything else but that report. So that if the person who created or put the security in that report, if he's not come to office for any reason, that we can use that user to access the report or the integration. Right? So this is what is report security, and we will see how it works and all that. And this is just the basic example, guys. I'm just wanted you to understand how it works.
Okay. Sure.
So now then we will see how would we schedule the reports, scheduling a report and how would we launch the report and all that. Then we would see what are calculated fields. What are calculated fields?
Maybe that's something like a mathematical platform where we calculate that calculate things. I'm just guessing, like I'm not sure. So just based on that word, I'm just guessing on to
Exactly.
calculate some mathematical data or something.
Exactly. That's correct. So basically, calculated fields. Let's take a good example. Um, you are working as a HR, and your manager is asking you to come and to generate a report. Okay, and he wants the data of all the new hires who has joined the company and who has completed their probation period. Okay, in your company, probation period is 30 days. And now the manager is telling you, Anil or Kumar, give me a report of all the employees who have joined newly to the organization and who have completed their probation period of 30 days. Do you think you will go to your system, whatever system you're working on, or in Workday, you will go to former uh, all worker and one by one, you will open? There'll be so many employees. How do you know?
No.
Eh? In this case, calculated fields will help. What you will do is you will just create a basic calculated field which will add plus 30 to the higher date. Today is 16. Maybe we'll go back 30 days. You will minus 30 days today and you will generate the report and you will give it to your manager. So that's when calculated field comes in. We have different types of calculated fields. We have arithmetic, we have increment, decrement of date, format. There are many calculated fields, but you don't use all the calculated fields. And we will use only few important calculated fields on our regular day-to-day life in Workday. There are so many, and many are there. There are 30, I think 32, 35 calculated fields are there. We will be discussing only these set of calculated fields. All 35 is not needed. We do not have that much of requirement to use all calculated fields. Then we will talk about integrations.
Is XML required for this for this like getting into technical thing
No,
knowledge? Mhm.
no, it does. It is not the necessity. It is not 100% compulsory that you should know coding and all that. I literally don't know coding. We don't know. We don't need to know coding.
Okay, okay. Because they
When you
say
say XML,
basically
it is
this
just
technical side, it's like the output itself is like coding. Like you need to know coding is a mandatory thing. So that's what I have I've heard of. But I'm just checking with you.
see XML. When you say XML is something a format, right? Like right, this is the MS Word format, right? What we are looking at the screen, this is an MS Word format. Similarly,
Hmm.
XML is a format, so output will come in XML.
Okay.
We don't have to do anything in XML. But if you
Okay.
go to very deep, okay, very deep, which is very deep, okay, that's when you'll do some basic changes in the coding, one or two lines. It's not coding, I would say. It is just the basic English you will just add and then you will upload it. That will be in
Okay.
XML.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you
Uh,
being a technical person, like so you said like you're not doing any kind of coding now in real time. Uh,
yes,
you're
I've not done any coding in real time.
okay. Okay. So you mean to say coding is not mandatory to be a technical consultant?
Yes,
Because
it is not.
because why I'm asking is I do not have any background in coding and all stuff. I don't know anything on coding, so that's the reason.
No, that's completely fine. You don't need to know coding for an integration consultant.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
You just need to have a basic understanding of how XML works and
Hmm.
how
So you're
XSLT
gonna
works.
teach us also like with the basic understanding how to use XML, I mean how it works and everything.
Yes, yes. When we are doing the integration part, when we start the integration, this part, when we
Mm-hmm.
come here, we will show. I will show you how this XML looks. And see,
Okay.
basically, you don't have to do anything. XML is just this. This is XML. The only difference is it will be written in some kind of this code and all will be like this, something will be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is notepad like this kind of. This is how it is.
Yeah, these kind of say commands and all we used to. I just use it in degree doing that system for that. What do you say? Programming something like that.
Exactly. We will not be using any commands in this, like how we
Okay.
use it in Java or to
Uh-huh.
launch to launch in command prompt. We will not be
Mm.
using all that here.
Okay.
We will
Okay.
just save this file and we will attach it somewhere or we will upload it.
Okay. No, got it.
So when we come through integrations, we will be seeing basic introduction on integrations, and then we will see how is the architecture and cloud platform, what are the web services. So we will be seeing what is a web service. this is something which is related to integrations. Okay. So what is a web service? When you say web service, uh, something which is useful in real time, which helps to interact with Workday. And mm, let's take an example of banking itself. Web services have made the life very, very easy for us nowadays. Okay. The beautiful example is banking application. As I told you initially, if I log into hdfcbank.com, it'll ask me for username and password. When I enter the username and password, it will give me only my account information. Have you ever heard or have you ever experienced any time that Anil has received Mohammed's bank account information or Kumar has received uh, my account, Mohammed's bank account? No, it is not possible. That's what web services do. They will target a specific area. There'll be thousands and thousands of coding written to run an account, to open an account. There'll be thousands and thousands of codings, words written. But web service will go ahead and target only that specific lookout for you, for your account, only for that account. It will take like what 5 seconds to load or 10 seconds to load. That's where web service is doing its work. It is going and finding your particular account in the thousands of codes and pulling the data and giving it to you. That's the job of web service. Did you understand this?
Yes, Mohammed. I understood.
Okay.
So the exact definition to put it in a technical term, like you said, something. Can you come again? Can you repeat that?
We do not have any technical word. It is just an explanation for web service. Web service in Workday is basically uh, it helps to interact with Workday
Okay.
and make the work easier. Like in Workday example, if I tell you, if there is a report which Anil has created or Kumar has created, and it is there in Workday. The report name is Workday All Employees. So if you want to use that report in any integration, you will have to enable web services. It has to go and pull that report and come, right? As I give you an example of
Mm-hmm.
banking application, it has to go and pull the report and then come and use it in your integration. So that's the purpose of web services. Going, interacting with Workday and making with specific targeting specific codes.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to
Mhm.
we have a concept of report as a service, which is RAS, right? So I have already told you how web services work. So this is called as report as a service. When you say report as a service, it's a REST web service. You call this as a REST web service. It will target the specific location of so many codes, and it will just go pull the data and it will come. That is called as REST, report as a service. We will see what are the different kinds of concepts and how it works. Basically, this is a theoretical part, but we will see how this works in Workday. That's what we will see. This is just theory. What
Okay.
are the different types of IDs, integration IDs, reference IDs, how you view an ID,
Mm-hmm.
types of IDs. There are three IDs available in Workday. We will see all that. We will see how simple integrations of EIB. EIB is an integration. We'll see that when we are going to tenant, and then we will see what is a SOP. We have two types of web services. One is REST and one is SOP. REST, I've already told you. This is how the REST web services work. When we talk about SOP, um, I want you to just do some basic investigation yourself as how the SOP works, and let me know. All right,
Okay.
just go on
Okay.
googling and just find out what is SOP, SOAP API, SOAP web service, what is REST web service, and this is just the theoretical part.
Okay.
So when coming to integrations, okay, we will see what are the different business processes which are involved, what are the process events. When I say business process, what do you understand by that business process?
Is it a set of information?
Exactly. It is set of sequential
Okay.
information, sequential
Yes.
steps, which is completed one after the other. So unless and
Hmm.
until the previous step is not completed, you cannot go to next step. You cannot move on to the next step. You have to complete the old step first and then come back to next, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you cannot
Correct.
complete one, you cannot go
Sequentially.
to 5 sequentially. And however, we have conditions. In business process, we have conditions. It is not necessary that after you complete 1, 2 or 3 has to be completed. If the company's requirement is 2 and 3 is optional, then we can skip also. We can go to 3. Depends upon
Okay.
the business process design, how a company organization wants it for itself. Every company has its own different process. Your company, the company you are working on, will not be the same as I am working on. It'll have different steps, different rules, and all that. So when I say EIB, it is
Hmm.
enterprise interface builder. Okay, we will see what is EIB and how it works, what are the different patterns, and how to launch an EIB, how to set up a security of EIB. These are the basic things. Then we will see how to uh, custom an XSLT. So what is an XSLT? This is all EIB. We will be seeing how to look
Okay.
for as a service, how to combine web services with EIBs, how to create an outbound EIB, inbound EIB. What is the meaning of,
Hmm.
what's the purpose of EIBs? Then we will see what is XSLT. We will see basics of XML and XPath and XSLT. Why is it
Okay.
used? Where is it used? How would you
So
identify?
XML, XPath, we need to know what is XML, the basic things and all these
Yeah,
three.
yeah. See, this is very, very basic. Okay, it is not gonna be rocket science or complication. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to learn coding and all that. There's
Hmm.
no coding involved in this.
Okay. Okay.
So, okay, we will to know this. You will have to know what is static web page, what is dynamic web page. Okay. When we are working on this XSLT or XSLT or XML, we would I would tell you what is a dynamic web page and what is a static web page. Okay, so when I have opened Google Chrome, you see a web page, right? You see my screen. This is called as a static web page. Static means something which is stable, it is not moving. Google has not given this option to us. This is the only option. You cannot move this particular Google logo to right or left or anywhere. This is called a static web page. When you say dynamic web page, this is a dynamic web page of Google. Now, what is the meaning of it? See, dynamic means something which you will be able to change. which you will be able to move. Google does not know this, that I am going to do this, right? So this is something which is happening then and there, something which is moving, something which is happening unexpected. This is called as dynamic web page.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
something which is fixed, which company is telling you this is what you will be able to do. You cannot do more than this. Dynamic is something you will be able to do whatever you want to do. That's when integrations play a big part. XML accessibility will play a big part. Companies will have their own EIDs, their own reports. When I say reports, right, they will have their own standard kind of reports. So, but what is that is not the requirement of your company. You are working for a company shell. It has a different requirement which is not given by Workday. So that's when you will develop dynamically dynamic reports. That's where you will develop dynamic reports, and that's where you will use this XML, XSLTs, and all that. The output will come in this format, XML format. We will see what are the different. How do we transfer the documents? How do we
But
edit it
when
across
you
the
say,
documents?
yeah, 1 second, I have a question here. So when you say you have to develop the reports dynamically, correct?
Mhm.
So does this involve any kind of coding here? No?
No, never. It does
Okay.
not. When I say dynamically, you will have an option to change the fields, remove, add the fields.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you will do all this in Workday itself.
Okay.
Okay? There will not be any coding involved in this.
Okay. Okay.
So one form of integration is EIB. The other form of integration is core connectors. Okay, we will
Okay.
see how to customize a core connector.
Mm-hmm.
Um, why? Because core connector is something which is delivered by Workday. Okay, Workday is given given its partners like Shell. Okay, Workday will tell I have these set of core connectors. You can use these fields. You can use these attributes. You can map it as per you want it, but you cannot create it. You can only develop it. It will give you a set of core connectors. You can develop from it, and you can make whatever is your requirement. You can do it as per that. But Shell is going back and telling Workday, why would I need this? I don't want you to give me something which I don't want. I will develop it myself. Give me an option for that. That's when Workday will tell, yes, we have an option. The option is you develop your own um, integration by using Workday Studio. Workday Studio is costly, so mostly clients will not prefer that. The cheapest form of integration are core connectors and EIB. Workday Studio is something which you have to purchase separately. Cost it is not cost efficient. Uh, for example, let's take an example of mobile phone itself. You have got a new Android phone. You have message application, right? You have a message application in your phone, which is given by Android itself. Does that mean you will not install anything else, any other message application? No, you will. You have an
Yeah.
option. Where? Play Store. You will
Correct.
go to Play Store and you will download any other message application apart from whatever Android has given. You can install and you can use it. So it is the same concept here. The concept is Workday has given core connectors, which you cannot create, but you can customize it as per your requirement. But still, if your requirement is not fulfilled, you can go ahead and purchase Workday Studio and you can use it. Workday Studio, you can develop anything and everything, but it is costly and it is not recommended by Workday to use it.
Why is that, Mohammed? It is not recommended.
It is costlier, and plus you require separate knowledge for it. For all
Oh,
of this, this is all is covering all the same topic. If you are an integration consultant, this all will be covered. But to learn Studio, you will have to have separate knowledge.
okay. Okay.
For example, engineering student. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
pass out engineering college, and when you come to the market, they will ask you basic questions and they will take you for the job and they will judge you as per those questions because you are passed out of the college, right? You will know only this much.
Right.
But
Okay.
when you are in the market and they are asking you something equal to worker experienced person, how is that justified? You have to learn that, right? So that's how Workday Studio is. You have to learn it separately, and that's the very deep knowledge,
Hmm.
and that's totally a different thing.
So for this one, Workday Studio is not required for a technical consultant.
No, you don't. You see, you might need it is not a necessary requirement. It is not
Not a
100%
necessary.
requirement.
Okay. Okay.
An integration consultant or somebody who deals with reports and core connectors and EIBs and securities of integration, and
Mhm.
also Studio, but it is not 100% requirement. It depends upon company who use Studio, who do not use Studio.
Okay. Okay. But if you have, say, a knowledge or some basic experience on working on Studio, that could be a plus, right?
Yeah, it will be a plus. You can mention, you can always say that you have knowledge in Workday Studio, how it works, and basic information of Workday Studio.
Okay.
And Workday Studio is very complex kind of an integration. Okay, very complex kind of integration. And as I told you, it is very is costly and it has to
Mhm.
be bought separately. When you purchase Workday, one tenant from Workday, it will give you the tenant, right? It will give you this EIB and core connectors also along with it because it is part of Workday. But you want Studio, it has to be separately purchased.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. Do you have idea like which particular companies are using Workday Studio? Uh, any?
Um, you mean in the real time world?
Yeah, real time work. Yes.
You have
Which client companies
you
like
have Deloitte using, you
Shell
have
using Workday Studio?
Dell,
Shell.
Shell. I'm not sure about Shell, but I think Apple is using, Deloitte is using.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
these
Okay.
people which I know
All right.
of. So I will show you. Yeah, quickly. So we are actually running out of the time, past time. Move somewhere. Uh, okay,
So
so
how
we
long
can.
will this take to complete the complete classes, technical classes, Mama?
Yeah, it depends upon the individual. It usually takes 20 to 30 hours. I will not say 25 to 30. I will say 20 to 30 hours to complete all these integration courses, which we just discussed.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
it is purely on you as if you're able to do it, then we'll be able to complete in 20-25 hours. If not, we'll drag it to 30-35 hours.
Okay.
Okay, we'll learn all this slowly.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so today what we have seen is we have seen what is Workday basic reporting, what is Workday, what is Workday reporting, and then we have seen different between custom and uh, standard and custom reports. We have seen how to sort and filter. We have discussed basically, not seen. We have discussed what is prompting in a report, what are the different, how to edit copy, and who can edit copy, how to schedule a report or launch a report, how would we add the calculated fields and what are the options of calculated fields, what is an integration and web service, what is REST and what is SOAP. So basically you would be checking yourself.
Hmm.
REST, what I have informed you, what is REST, and see, this is just the basic technical, I would say theoretical part. Okay, this is not something related to technically what something we will do in Workday. This is just theoretical, which you will have to go through yourself. We will see all of this in live Workday. We will work on it.
Okay.
All right, when we are doing practice, we will work on it. And anyways, you will have the documents to go through all of this. So theoretical part you can always go through. Then we have seen what is business process, how would we work with business process. We have seen what is EIB, interface builder, enterprise interface builder, and we have seen two types of EIBs. One is inbound, the other one is outbound. And then we have seen basic of what is we have just discussed what is XSLT or XML, just a kind of a format in which Workday will give the output. And then we have seen what is a core connector. Core connector is basically an integration provided by Workday itself. It is something Workday gives you and says you can customize it as per your wish, but you cannot create it. We can see how to launch and how to change detect and how to transaction logs and all that. We will see when we are working on core connector. All right. So do you guys have any questions for me today?
Uh, no.
Kumar, how about you?
No question.
Okay. One piece of information before we drop out. Uh,
Mhm.
there are Workday servers. Okay. When we say Workday, we all know that since you have functional experience, you have knowledge in function. We
Mhm.
are working in Workday, which is a cloud-based application, and this cloud-based application does not require any system setup. Which if you go for SAP or some other ERP tool, it will require a huge setup of servers and big room and capacity in the uh, computer, in your laptops. It should have a huge, uh, what do you call, chips, okay, to bear that particular processing chips, processor. Right? But in Workday, you don't need that. You just need a laptop and an internet, and everything it is going and saving in Workday Cloud. And that Workday Cloud is servers are located, physical servers are located in different locations. You have Portland, Dublin, and many other places in Workday.